So because it's October and Halloween is this month, we will be making jack-o'-lantern hand puppets today. So let's get started, and this should be a lot of fun. For this project, we will need a full sheet of orange paper, a small square of green paper, and a small square of white paper. We will also need something to cut with, so a pair of scissors will work fine, and we will need something to glue with. So grab your glue stick. The last thing we'll need is something to write with, something that is black. I have chosen a Sharpie, but a marker or a colored pencil will work fine too. So let's get started. So first, all we'll need is the glue stick and the orange sheet of paper, so you can set all the other things aside for now. All right, we're going to take this sheet of paper, and from the landscape side, we are going to fold it up towards the top. You don't want to get all the way to the top, but you want to leave about 1 inch of space at the top. So fold it nice and straight. Make sure the edges of your paper line up, and go ahead and press down and make that crease nice and defined so you can run your hand along it a few times. All right, once you've done that, you're going to want to fold this little flap that you've made here, this little extra piece. We're going to fold that over our first fold. So, folding it over our first fold. This can be a little tricky, but you should be able to get a pretty tight fold in there. Also, press down and make sure that fold is nice and finished. All right, the next step is we want to unfold that flap and put a line of glue along the edge of this fold. So, glue stick doesn't need to be that far out, and we are going to put some glue down on that flap. Once you finish that, you can push down that fold. So now we should have, this should be all glued down nicely, and we should have something that looks like this. The next step, we want to take the side with the fold and we want to fold it in half, but we want to fold it backwards. So flip it over so that you have a very smooth side, and we're going to take one side and fold it over to the other side like this. Make sure that crease is nice and defined, so go ahead and push down on it. All right, once you've had this piece, this next step may be a little tricky, but it should be quite easy. Now we're going to take this flap and we're going to fold it back to the center point. So you're taking this piece that you have with the open side, and we're going to fold it back to the center point. And we're going to do the same thing for the other side. So flip it over, and we're going to fold it back to the center point. Okay. You want to push down real hard and make sure you got your fold nice and tight. Okay, now we have the basic part of our project. You can stick your fingers in the top two and your thumb in the bottom, and you have the talking part. Now it's time to decorate. Once you have this folded, you can set this aside and grab your little tiny piece of green paper. What I want you to do is just make a small fold in the bottom of your green piece of paper, and this will help you figure out where to stop cutting the hair. You don't ever want to go past the crease on the bottom, because this is where you'll put the glue to glue your hair in. So this being the hair, you can make it crazy hair. I'm going to make some spiky hair. I think that's the easiest with scissors, so you can cut, make some crazy spiky hair if you want. If you don't want to make crazy spiky hair, you can make other hair. I'll show you in a second. So there's my crazy spiky hair. And let me show you some other examples that I did. So if you wanted to make some fluffy hair, you can do that. If you wanted to make just a point of hair, you can also do that. And if you like Dragon Ball Z, you can also make Dragon Ball Z hair. But this is all up to you. So our next step would be choosing your hair after you've cut it. And I'm gonna stick with my original one. I'm gonna take my piece back. And what I wanna do with this is I'm gonna glue the hair into my hand puppet. So I wanna put a little bit of glue on the green side. And I wanna take my puppet, and on the top flap of the edge, I wanna stick it in between there. And you can press down on that. But I don't want to put glue on both sides, just one side, so that the hair is glued to the top side of my puppet. All right, good for that. All right, the next step that we're going to do is to make some teeth for your puppet. Now, you can draw the teeth in like this so that your puppet has teeth, or we're going to do something a little bit more interesting. So just like the hair, I'm going to also want you to fold a place for glue. And there you go. So again, you're not going to cut below this line to make the teeth. You can make the teeth sharp and pointy, which I guess it's because it's Halloween, I'm going to make some sharp and pointy teeth. And you can do any type of teeth you want. Be creative and decide what kind of teeth you want your jack-o'-lantern to have. So I have some real wavy teeth here. So here we go. I have my wavy teeth, and I have my place for glue to go. And I'm going to take my glue stick out again and put glue on this little strip. Now, when the teeth go in, they'll go into the front. And where your hair is, it's going to go right on the front of the mouth, where the mouth would go. All right, so just press it down, hold it tight. All right. So there you have it. So traditionally, pumpkins have triangle-shaped eyes, which are easy to make. Just make a triangle for 2 eyes, and you can make a triangle for the nose. But today, I'm going to be a little bit more creative, and I'm going to draw whatever kind of eyes I want. So, for my jack-o'-lantern, I'm going to draw one big round eye, and one even bigger round eye. So my jack-o'-lantern looks spooky. And you can choose what kind of eye you want to put on your jack-o'-lantern. All jack-o'-lanterns look a little bit different. So I'm just gonna put an eye, maybe put an eyeball in here. And that should be it. Put an eyeball in there for you. Maybe an eyebrow. All right. I'm also gonna fix the teeth so we know they're teeth. Alright, so that's it. You stick your top fingers in the top part and your thumb in the bottom, and you have yourself your very own jack-o'-lantern puppet. Well, happy October, everyone. Bye.